my aunt got me a set of magic tricks when I was maybe 6 years old. I thought, great, now I have the magic. And it turns out not so, because the magic is never about the props, nor the secret. It's about the performance. So I set that magic set aside. I was like, forget about this. This is too hard. I'll never make this look real.
We love the San Gabriel Valley. There are some amazing people and businesses here, and we think they deserve the spotlight. Welcome to the SGV Master Key Podcast. We'll have on the people that make the SGV great. We'll find out what makes them tick, their ups and downs, their history, and we're going to have fun doing it. This is the SGV Master Key Podcast. And now your hosts, Scott Warmoth and Russell Mano.
All right, SGVers, welcome back to another episode of the SGV Master Key Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We document and share the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley. So if you're into that kind of thing, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're a returning listener, thank you for joining us. We're excited to bring you another great guest from right here in the San Gabriel Valley. Well, Scott, do you enjoy magic? I enjoy magic.
I love magic. It's just fascinating, and I've probably been a dozen times or more to the Magic Castle.
Really?
I just love close-up magic. Is really,
I think I know that about you, but I didn't know that you had been there a dozen times.
Oh, at least, yeah.
And close-up magic. So I like close-up magic too.
Yeah.
And what about close-up magic as opposed to like Copperfield
the big stage
or
productions,
David Blaine or something?
Yeah. No, I like all of those. Every kind. I like, but close-up is, to me, the most fascinating.
And is that the right term, close-up or sleight of hand, or, they're right in your face?
Yeah. We'll have to ask our guest.
Yeah, I'm so, excited and giddy about that.
Yeah.
I don't even know where you can go see magic now outside of the Magic Castle. I remember there was a place in Hollywood, Universal City Walk, where you could go to a dinner and a magic show. Yeah,
I remember one in Santa Monica that I went to as well, but I don't know if that's still open. But it was also a magic club.
I always would love when just some random person at a event or party or something would do some sort of magic trick, and you're like, holy crap, you came here with the intention of doing that.
So have you learned a lot of tricks?
I have. I went to a shop before to learn. I bought and practiced those tricks, and I really enjoyed to perform them with people. So now I think I haven't done the cards. I brought them today in case our guest wants to see. Actually, she did ask me to do it for her, but I haven't done it in maybe years.
Oh, yeah.
But I used to do it all the time, and I used to love to do it, and just the interaction with people and seeing their enjoyment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's places in the San Gabriel Valley to see magic, but if you're interested in checking out other things to do in the San Gabriel Valley, don't forget to check out San Gabriel Valley Now. They're your source for city news, announcements, events, and special savings, everything SGV. Check them out on their website, sgv.now, and read their SGV Now magazine, which we're in now, from their website, sgvnow.com. Well, there's our little pregame, to our guests that we typically do. And right now they're like, who do you have on the show, right? Well, I'm excited to introduce our guest today. Her name is Christine Chow, realtor by day, magician by night. Christine, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for coming.
I'm wondering what the guests, so the listening audience can see. So you defy maybe two stereotypes about magicians, right? One, that you're female, and two, you're Chinese.
Oh, thank you. I love breaking barriers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's an extra element of surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Christine, what is your connection to the San Gabriel Valley?
So I grew up here. I was born in Hong Kong. I moved to Taiwan when I was around 6. Then I came here when I was 9. I went to McKinley, just down the street. Went to Jefferson Middle High, Gabrielino High School, inaugurating class of 98. So I grew up here, and I still live in Alhambra, and I do real estate. I'm a realtor at KW Executive.
And I think you were a classmate with one of our previous guests.
That's correct.
Paul Kuo,
Paul Kuo, the owner of Pop Art Academy, the actor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Small world.
So your journey is similar to many here in the San Gabriel Valley. What was life like growing up in Hong Kong, and when did you come to the San Gabriel Valley?
So growing up in Hong Kong, I went to a trilingual school. I did learn English, Mandarin, and Cantonese, even though Cantonese was the main language. And then at the time, it was a British colony. So people did speak English there. But my mom wanted me to learn Mandarin because I knew that we're going to move to Taiwan soon. So it was quite interesting because growing up with the British, even though they spoke English, it's British style. British accent, British culture with the double-decker bus. Then I moved to Taiwan, very different. I learned a completely new phonics system with the Mandarin. And then I had to take first grade and second grade at the same time because I couldn't understand Mandarin properly. Then I came here when I was 9. So I started studying at McKinley 5th grade. Yeah. Wow. It's quite interesting because let's say that I was kind of bullied here because I couldn't speak English fluently when I moved here because I had 3 years in Taiwan, which I didn't have to speak any English.
And you mostly spoke Mandarin there.
Exactly, yeah.
But your family is Cantonese?
And my family is actually from Taiwan.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but then they decided half of the family from my mom's side is from Hong Kong, and half are from Taiwan. But my parents were born and grew up in Taiwan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I forgot that, when we spoke the first time and I was listening to your voice, there are qualities about a person's speech and mother tongue that sort of shape their mouth structure, their bones, and then you hear it later on in life, right? You can hear someone who's grown up around certain dialects or speech. And when I heard yours, I was like, I've never heard somebody like this before. It's really unique. Yeah.
That's interesting because when I was in Taiwan, I spoke Mandarin to the taxi driver, and they thought I was from China, even though I didn't even roll my tongue. Even Taiwanese would ask me, where are you from? Because my Mandarin is not really very typically Taiwanese Mandarin, nor, from Hong Kong. So it's a mixture of everything. So even with Mandarin is like that. So English, I don't know.
What do you consider your native language?
Oh, it's tough. I speak English the best, and then Mandarin, and then Cantonese. I speak a little of Japanese. I lived in Japan as well for 3 years. Maybe I picked up a little bit of a Japanese accent there while I was living there. So, yeah.
You mentioned when you came here that you were bullied for not speaking English that well.
Yeah.
Even in were there a lot of Chinese or Asians where you went to school?
There were actually a lot of Asians and a lot of Hispanics, but I think because I couldn't speak English, just because I couldn't speak English and I was new. When you're younger, people call you a fob. I was a fob. So people did make fun of me. So that was my motivation to practice speaking English better. And I remember when I was in junior high school, a kid who used to make fun of me walked up to me because we ended up in the same English class. I was in ESL when he was in regular English class. And he's like, wow, Christine, you're that Christine from ESL in 5th grade. I was like, yeah. He's like, wow, you can speak English so well now. I was like, well, thank you.
Yeah, you're fluent.
I'm okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I try to be fluent. Sometimes I don't know, my brain switches back and forth.
I try to be fluent, and I blame my brain too.
Blame on COVID.
Wow, was that a very redeeming moment for you?
That was. I still remember that day. I was like, wow, okay, well, thank you. I appreciate him walking up to me because he was one of the bullies.
Yeah. Were you like, you're the reason why I have improved my English?
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Okay. And so that was junior high.
That was junior high, yes.
Yeah. And then what was your experience like growing up, during that time here?
Oh, it was by that time I could speak English, so it was quite fast. I enjoyed it very much. I had a good social life. I really enjoyed going to school because I was a good student. I actually enjoy learning a lot. I just enjoy all the friendship that I built there, and I'm still very good friends with a lot of them, including Paul Kuo, your former guest, was here.
So you liked high school?
I did. I was the salutatorian of high school, actually.
But actually, as you were going through high school, your high school was incomplete because first year you only had your own class, right?
That's correct, yes. So we were the first graduating senior of Gabrielino. We had to vote on our mascot, school colors, and everything. Yeah, alma mater. Actually, Paul arranged the alma mater.
Really?
Yes, and it was fun because we had no senior classmates.
Yeah.
It was, in retrospect, maybe it was better to have someone to kind of lead us through the years, but we were the boss for all 4 years. And we had really strong bonds with all the teachers. We even partied at the principal's home. We had a pool party at his house.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So it was I love Gabrielino, and I'm happy that it's still there. And it's actually better. It wasn't like this. It was called Bungalino at the time because it was just full of bungalows.
That's right.
Do you
remember that. Yeah.
It was Jefferson Middle School, and they converted that Jefferson Middle School into Gabrielino High School, same campus.
Oh.
Yeah. So just remember, It wasn't like this before.
Oh, so the campus right now used to be Jefferson.
Yes, Jefferson also moved to Broadway.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would see it in development because we would go to Spike's right here for lunch.
I remember Spike's. Someone ran into Brad Pitt at Spike's.
No.
Someone told me they went out for lunch, and then they saw Brad Pitt. He was filming around here.
Really?
That's one story I remember. It could be someone else, but I remember it was Brad Pitt.
So, we would barely be able to come from Mark Temple to Spike's for lunch, pick up food, eat it on the way back, and have to go back to class. But, I remember seeing it in development, right across the street, Gabrielino, yeah. I just realized, so I learned that there was this first class of people, obviously, for Gabrielino from Paul. I had some idea of what that was like, but that may be the only class in the entire San Gabriel Valley to have that experience. I mean, when is a new high school built within within a city? It's very rare, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know of any.
Right. It was more the most recent one probably is Gabrielino.
Right.
I would think.
Right. Unless you're like expanding like in Vegas, right? Like there's these brand new
where there's a lot of growth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say you graduated in 2007?
I wish.
Or did
1998.
You say? Oh, 1998.
Yes. I just gave it away.
Oh, okay.
Someone asked me, are you going to mention what year you graduated? I was like, sure.
Well, 25 years.
I know. Isn't that? Oh my gosh.
Well, aren't you having a reunion?
That's Paul's I believe he's the president of the Alumni Association.
Oh, yeah?
So he's actually organizing it. I believe it'll be in November this year.
Oh, wow.
Down the street, I believe it's the Hilton.
Oh, yeah?
San Gabriel, yes.
Well, it's my 50th anniversary this year.
Oh, wow. Where did
high
you
school.
Where did you go?
Seattle.
Oh, Seattle. I see.
Yeah, so you wouldn't know.
But you have a reunion too, 50th?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going. I've so far not gone to a single reunion.
You should go.
I'm tempted. It would be nice. It would be fun. But you are around all these people you grew up with.
Right.
See, I'm separated from everybody.
That's true.
I never, it's like I left. But probably 90% of the people are still around.
Yes, I actually earlier, before coming to the show, I went to my junior high school friend's daughter's promotional ceremony at McKinley. Yeah, so it was the campus that I went to, but much different now. They repainted. They did a lot of renovation.
Oh.
So it's my first time back since, I can't remember, 1992, 1991.
Wow.
I can't remember. Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow. Christine, you enjoyed school. Mm-hmm. You were the salutatorian. Did you go right from school to Japan teaching English, or what happens after that?
After high school, I went to UCLA and got my BA in psychology.
Okay.
And I thought, I want to be a psychologist at the time. But after taking abnormal psych, I realized this is not really for me. But I enjoy teaching.
What's abnormal psych?
Abnormal psychology is like
pathology.
Yeah, learning about people with schizophrenia, depression, bipolar. It was a lot. And because I soak up people's emotions, I don't think it would be a right fit for me. I think in order to be a very good therapist or a psychologist, you have to be able to separate yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Too much transference.
Yeah.
Even then, they have to have required therapy time.
Oh.
But
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Abnormal psych also includes cluster B. So psychopath, sociopath.
Right.
I mean, sociopathy, psychopathy, borderline personality, those type of things.
Right.
So anyway, sorry.
No.
I thought he was describing me. No, that's okay.
Maybe he's already me.
Or maybe he was actually.
So
Yes.
you decided psychology was not for you,
Right.
But you enjoyed teaching.
Right. I did enjoy teaching. So what happened after college was I found a job at ACI Institute. I was an after-school program teacher. I taught their pre-SAT classes.
Where is that, or was that? Because is it many places?
Yeah, it's actually it's a family-owned, and they have a lot of branches. At the time, I taught at the Alhambra location on Garfield.
Yeah. What is ACI?
ACI stands for, I can't remember what it stands for, but it's a after-school program. Kind of like a SAT prep school.
Okay.
Tutoring center.
It's like similar to Kumon Academy type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So I taught there for a couple of years, and I realized that I really enjoy teaching, but, I want to expand my world. At the time, I got into watching Japanese dramas. I thought, I want to go travel to Japan.
Wait, which ones?
The
new
old ones. The back then, 90s.
No way. Did you ever watch Shadow Warriors? Kage no Gundam? With
At the time,
Shonichiba?
no. At the time, I'm trying to remember which one. I saw so many. I
Okay,
can't remember.
sorry.
No. It was the oldies. When
Yeah.
Japanese drama were more popular than K-drama, because right now everybody's watching K-drama. But I thought I wanted to travel to Japan and work at the same teach. And I learned about the JET program when I was studying at UCLA, because I was a work study student at the International Study Abroad Internship and Study Abroad Center. So I learned about the JET program then, but never thought about applying because I thought, just stick around LA.
Who runs the JET program?
The Japanese government does.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Because when I was in college
Yeah.
and afterwards, they had a Monbushu
Monbushu, yeah.
Do
it's
they
a
still have
department.
that?
Yes, I think it's the Department of
like
Culture.
and they had a program for foreign language instructors, and I wanted to do that.
Oh, you did?
Yes, but I was rejected.
Maybe for the better. Now we wouldn't have this law office. You never know where life takes you.
That's true. Yeah.
So, JET stands for Japan Exchange and Teaching Program, in case people don't know what it stands for.
I thought about doing this, and then I decided not to because of the experience of like being mixed. I'm mixed Japanese.
Oh, that's right.
And what it would be like for me over there.
It would be very interesting. A different experience.
Difficult, probably.
Yes, I think difficult. Yeah. They don't accept, like you would be more accepted than I would, I think.
Oh, because Hapa, you
That's
mean the
right.
Hapa
Yeah.
culture. I think looking Asian, even though I'm not Japanese, there's certain expectation of behavior, following protocol.
Yeah.
So the expectation is different for us. Well, even you, I think you can pass as Japanese if you don't tell them you're half. Maybe.
But culturally, like,
And he couldn't speak the language.
Yeah.
Right. It was tough. I couldn't speak it, actually. I couldn't speak it either.
But they want that though, right? They want like someone who can
Oh, I
speak
see.
English well.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the purpose of having fluent English speakers over there to practice the language with them. So but it was a very, I would say that was where I grew the most in Japan. My 3 years there.
Did you make friends there, like Japanese friends, other people in the JET program?
Yeah, actually, I made a lot of friends there, and I still keep in touch with them. We still exchange Christmas cards. The fascinating part of the JET program is it's not just participants from the United States, but we have participants from over the world. So I've made friends with people from Australia, New Zealand, England, all over the place. So that means when we travel, we can just shoot them a text and go, I'm coming. Let me visit. It's funny that you mentioned because one of my friends from JET, she's from Hawaii. She's visiting right now. She's going to an Angels game, and I think I'm going to meet up with her tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
And it's already been, I came back in 2007. So it's been a while.
I hope Otani is pitching.
Yeah, is that I think that's why she's there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know much about baseball, but that could be the reason.
What's one of your most fondest memories of that time?
Ooh, there's so many. It's so hard. How about cherry blossom season? Mm-hmm. I think that's one thing that we don't get here, at least on the West Coast. I think in Washington, D.C., there's a place where you can enjoy sakura or cherry blossom. It's fast. It's so romantic and beautiful. It's hard to describe with words. You just have to sit underneath the cherry blossom trees and let the wind blow, have those petals fly down, just like snow, but it's not snow, it's petals. And we would picnic underneath those trees and enjoy the scenery. Everybody's at the park during that season.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
Japan, very clean.
It is very clean. It's I think maybe culturally because the children were taught early on to clean after themselves. The cool thing about teaching in Japan is the kids are so respectful.
What city were you in?
I was in a small town called Futaba in Fukushima prefecture. Do you guys remember the March 11 disaster? The Daiichi nuclear power plant? I lived 10 minutes away from there, but I came back in 2007.
And that was more like 5 years later. Yeah, 4 years later.
Yeah, good memory. Yeah, so it was a small town with 5,000 people. So being a city girl, moving to, we called it Inaka, the countryside, I had to learn how to adjust myself. I did not think I would survive a year being there for the first few days. Like, I don't know if I can do this for 1 year because the contract's for a year. Ended up staying 3. I loved it. It really changed my life.
And you were together with the other members of your group the whole time, or were you sent different places?
Yeah, so as a JET, you just get sent wherever they want you to go. And in my town, I was the only JET program participant. There was another foreigner from Hawaii who was hired directly by the local board of education, not sent by the government. the prefectural government. So it was quite lonely because the next foreigner would be 15 minutes away in the next town, and I didn't have a car. I was not allowed to drive, by the way.
Wow.
They're like Christine Sensei. Sensei's mean teacher or master. Ooh, dangerous. You're not allowed to drive because Japanese, you drive on the other side. So I ended up not driving for 3 years. Just relied on my bike and rely on the kindness of other jets that gave me rides to places, and the train that pretty much stopped operating after 9 p.m.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I haven't been to Japan for 40 years, I think. But
really?
yeah, but somebody recently was telling me there's no public garbage cans in Japan.
Right.
Even though it's very clean, but there's no garbage cans, right?
If I remember correctly, that is true.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to clean after yourself or put your trash.
Yeah, take it home with you. Yeah.
I believe the only trash can that I remember was that in front of konbinis, which is convenience stores.
Oh.
That's where the trash cans are. But other than that, yeah, you have to take care of your own garbage. And the schools are so clean because the kids clean their schools every day after school. They have cleaning time. I don't know if you're aware of the
Yes.
tradition.
And they help prepare meals as well.
Yes, the younger kids prepare meals.
Yeah.
So they're taught to clean after themselves.
Yeah. From the societal perspective, they have a duty to the group as a whole,
Absolutely.
right?
Conformity.
It's ingrained, yes.
Yes, absolutely. So it's a very different culture, let's just say.
Don't be different. Don't stand out.
Exactly. Just follow the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so as a graduate from UCLA with a psych degree, when you were in Japan, were you thinking at that time in your life, this is what I want to do as a stepping stone to what I want to do later? Or were you just taking it all in and enjoying it at that time?
I think I was taking it all in. I did think about what my next step was going to be. I think I was studying for what's the test, GRE for grad school. I contemplated on that, or getting more involved with the education system here. I also thought about taking the CBEST to become a public school teacher. But in the end, life always takes you on different routes. I came back still trying to decide what to do, and I ended up working for a nonprofit for 10 years, promoting traditional Chinese opera. It's also local. It was in Almonte. It's no longer there. It's called the California Institute for Chinese Performing Arts. And my job was to help promote the traditional Chinese opera in the community. And I went around to local museums, went back to UCLA, UCI to do tours. We also produced a few shows at the Kodak Theater, then Kodak Theater. Now it's called the Dolby Theater. And we invited troops from China, from Taiwan to perform here.
Why is it no longer around?
Right. So our president, she retired. It was her private foundation. She contributed. It was her dream to have people of not just Chinese people. Only Chinese know about Chinese opera. She wanted Chinese opera to become more well known, just like Italian opera. So it was her dream, but she passed away earlier this year too. So it's no longer there. Wow. I hope someone follow. There are still organizations around San Gabriel Valley that does that, but not at the scale we're doing it, because we had our own theater, a theater built just for Chinese opera. It's different.
Where is that?
In Almonte. It's near the 10th Street exit, Baldwin exit.
And what is it being used for now?
I am not sure, actually, because I left before it stopped operating. I got into real estate.
So you worked full-time?
Yes, I was a full-time employee there. Yeah.
10 years is a long time.
I know, with the blink of an eye. Yeah. So it didn't feel that long, actually.
And in those 10 years, you were operating primarily here in the San Gabriel Valley.
San Gabriel Valley, yes.
You mentioned Irvine also.
Yeah, Irvine. Wherever we performed at the Getty Center too, so wherever our service is needed. Sometimes we have school kids. We sponsor shows for school kids to come to our theater to learn about Chinese opera. We would do workshops for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then you said from there, while you were still there, you got into real estate.
Yes, and that's another thing that I didn't plan. At the time, I was also thinking, well, I think I was there for almost 8 years. And I thought, well, what is my next step, right? Because I think I was already doing everything I can and things were getting routine. I got my real estate license for fun, like many people. I was like, okay, I'll just get my license for fun. Then a friend was moving back from Erie, Pennsylvania. She's like, Christine, I'm moving back. Can you help me find a house? I want to buy one. I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, didn't you just get your license? Yeah, but I wasn't sure what I'm going to do with it. And I don't even have a broker because as an agent, you have to work under a broker. She's like, just work under a broker, hurry up. So I did. So I started from that transaction. I helped her find a place in 3 months. She was very happy. She's actually the person whose daughter got promoted today. So I met up with her today. After that, another friend came up to me. Christine, you want to help me? I heard you help so-and-so find a house. So from there, my business kind of boomed. And
it's all residential? No, it's not. You did mention commercial.
Yeah, more so residential. But I'm also trying out commercial as well because I got recruited by commercial agents. They said with your degree, intellect, she's like, you should try to dabble into commercial as well. But I do enjoy residential a lot. It's different when you see the smile on people's faces when they find their home, when you give them the keys. I don't think you get the same joy as handing someone a key to an office or a retail. But Paul's different. Paul was very happy when because that's a retail, so it's just pride and joy.
Yeah.
You mentioned the intellect necessary for commercial. I never understood this, but I had a friend, and maybe you met her before, Donna.
Yeah.
Donna Dye. She does commercial, but educated in England at Oxford, and very, very brilliant, like very smart, but into commercial real estate. Yeah. And so now that you're mentioning that, I'm like, okay, yeah.
It's different, I heard, because residential...
low barrier to entry.
A little bit, but not to say there's still a wide range of agents, right? That the ones that are doing it for fun, part-time, just to do 1 deal or 2 deals a year, versus the really professional residential real estate agents that really treat their profession as a craft. I remember you guys had a few agents on the show too, and they're really passionate. But commercial is a little bit, it's more of a number-based. It's purely numbers, actually, I was told. Less emotional. But I enjoyed emotional aspect.
Sure.
I'm a people person.
Yeah. I remember saying to you, like, wow, there's just this energy coming off of her, right? Like, if I'm tired, I'm just going to go hang out with Christina. I'm going to have all this energy.
It's funny you mentioned that because in college, I was called the Energizer Buddy.
Oh.
Right. I live in a dorm at UCLA, and at night when people get tired of studying, they'll all just show up in my room. Like, Christine, what can you do for us today? We need to recharge. And I would crack jokes or make funny noises just to keep the spirits up. So, I'm not like this alone at home, by the way. I'm not crazy because people ask me, do you do this at home?
Well, I want to move on to how did you get into magic?
Yes, magic. Oh, that goes way, way back. As a child, I remember watching David Copperfield's special on TV in Taiwan and Hong Kong. I saw him pass through the Great Wall of China. I saw him levitating. I'm like, I want to be like that guy.
Do you know how he does his tricks?
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know. He's got a lot of people signing, what is it called? NDA? Non-disclosure. Yeah. So, I mean, there are people trying to...
And I just read an article about him. He also goes on YouTube and anonymously gives false information as to how he does his tricks.
Oh, does he?
That's clever.
To throw people off.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's all anonymous, so you don't know who it's coming from, but
Interesting.
We may never know.
Yeah.
So you saw this as a child, and just from there, you always had an interest in magic?
I just thought, well, that's fascinating. And then I also, as a child, I don't remember being here and seeing a lot of this kind of booth, but in Asia at the mall, there's always like a magic booth, like in the toy section. So really? I would watch the magician or the salesperson who's trying to sell the magic tricks before magic. And I was entertained. I was fascinated. I want to know the secrets. So my aunt got me a set of magic tricks when I was maybe 6 years old. I thought, great, now I have the magic. And it turns out not so, because the magic is never about the props. It's about nor the secret. It's about the performance. So I set that magic set aside. I was like, forget about this. This is too hard. I'll never make this look real. And what happens throughout your life, I don't know if you experienced this. If it's called meant to be or whatever, but whatever your passion is, it always come back to you. So I would run into people who love magic. Like you mentioned, Russell, that you like magic too. And people would show me a trick or two. I learned along the way. Then I met my colleague at ACI Institute, the after school program. I met this gentleman. His name is Chi Ni. He taught math next door. It turns out he's a Magic Castle member. He also loved magic. And he brought me and my friends to Magic Castle for the first time in 2007, 2008. And I was like, no way, there's a place like this on Earth? I always dreamed about having I want to build a house like that when I was before I went to the castle, I was like, oh, I want a house that has all kinds of secret passages. This is before Harry Potter.
Okay.
Right. So that got me started, wanting to know more about magic.
So you had a initial spark when you were younger, but pursuing it wasn't until you were an adult.
Right. More of an adult. Yeah. I would buy a book here and there and just read a little bit, but never really take it very seriously. As you know, magic, I don't think a lot of parents would consider a profession or something you should take very seriously. So I didn't think much of it. And after that trip, I met another gentleman. Still didn't think much of it. I just like magic more. I met another gentleman who is also a Magic Castle member. And he said, you know what, Christine, there's some magic classes that you can take at the castle as a normal person, as a mogul. What's it called? A muggle? A muggle. I said, okay. So I took a class there. And with the class comes with temporary membership. And then got to enjoy the castle like a member. I was like, ooh, I want to become a member. So I was talked into auditioning for the Magic Castle's membership. And luckily, I passed on my first try.
Oh, so you're a member?
Yes, I am a member, a magician member. There are two.
Right.
There are two kinds of membership. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now you know my secret. I've exposed myself.
What's the two types of membership?
So there's magician member that you have to audition in order to get. And there's associate members. Associate members are people who love the art of magic, but they don't know anything and they don't really care to learn. They just want to enjoy. So you can be associate member as
You
well.
or I could become an associate member.
Oh, you can. You can be a magician member if you know some. I can help you if you want to.
I could, if you give me $50,000, I'll make it disappear.
Oh, sure. I wish I had $50,000. Cash?
Yeah, cash is preferred.
Ooh, okay.
Well, so did you ever perform when you were 6 and try to do these tricks at all?
I try to show my family.
What was the response?
I can't remember actually. I was like, oh, great. Like what I guess adults would do, kind of trying to amuse me, I guess. But
You know, I want to be the parent who supports my child's dreams no matter what they are. And whenever I go down that road of thinking, magician always comes to mind. Like no matter what, because people may say, "Oh, what if your child wants to be a magician?"
Right.
And then I have to be the greatest magician that you can be. Right. That doesn't matter. But for some reason, it always comes to a magician. Right. I don't know why, but
maybe there's a reason why I'm here today. We'll talk after this. But I do remember my mom would go to Vegas once in a while, and she would always pick up a few tricks for me. There is a magic store, I think at the Caesar's Palace. So she did encourage me, but not take it very serious, but she would bring me props.
So she knew that you had a liking of magic. She
did, yeah.
Okay. So you had these people in your life who were members of the Magic Castle. Right. You tried out, you're a member now. Right. And so what does that mean for you, that you do shows or? So
at first I treated it as a hobby, just for fun. I wasn't thinking, once again, I wasn't really having a very clear goal what to do. I always admire people who could perform because I love entertaining people. I love seeing people laugh. So, I got asked to volunteer for a few shows here and there from my friends. Like, would you like to perform for, I believe, one of the first shows I performed is a volunteer thing for reading to kids. It's a nonprofit organization. I was so nervous. It was a cafeteria full of students, and I'm this new magician. Thank goodness they're not paying me, right? So I was like, keep the expectation low. But as soon as I walked in, some kid's like, "Where is the magician?" I said, "I am." It's like, "You can't be the magician. You're a girl." So that's when I realized, you know what? I can do more with magic than just performing. I can break that barrier and break that stereotype of what a magician should look like. Right. So, and then throughout the years, people start asking me to perform and offer to pay me. I was like, oh, wow. People are willing to pay for this. Great.
What is your area of preference or specialty?
Right. The fact that you're asking, Scott, means you know magic. Because I heard earlier you like close-up magic, and that is my specialty. I love close-up. There's nothing better than seeing magic happening right in front of your eyes. Yeah. I have a lot of respect for stage magicians, but that's a different budget, and normally you can't just perform stage magic for anyone, right? I like that element of surprise. You can just entertain your friends anytime.
Have you ever performed at the Magic Castle?
Not formally, but I have performed.
Oh, for friends or family.
For friends,
you
yeah.
take a little room and
Right, because as a member, one of the privileges is entertaining guests, and also I've opened for other magicians at the impromptu tables. I would love to someday perform at the Magic Castle. I get asked that a lot. That will require a whole level of work as well. Another audition.
Yeah.
And someday, if I do, I'll invite you guys over.
Yeah.
Well, Christine, we ask each guest to bring an item of significance with them. What did you bring with you today?
Well, I have this handkerchief right here, and it's quite interesting because, as you know, magicians, we not only have magic with our hands, but also with our sweat. Yeah, so let's see. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to. Let's see what this handkerchief will do. I think, there you go. It turned into a crane.
Wow.
No joking. It's a joke. But here is my,
very nice. Yeah.
here, this is my Magic Castle pin.
Oh.
Actually, this is the pin that magicians wear at the Magic Castle to signify that you're a magician.
Oh.
Now, as an associate member, you would wear a silver pin. Do you guys know can you guys guess why we wear pins? One of the reasons.
As a
Besides
prop?
that, oh.
Like you can use it as a prop.
But, when magicians perform on stage, sometimes they'll ask audience member to help. But when they see this pin, then they know that you're one of them, and they'll pick someone who's a lay person.
Oh.
So that's one way of signaling to the magician on stage not to pick you. But sometimes they still pick me for whatever reason.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes they love to shock magicians because that's a whole different level of thrill. When you can fool magician, that's something else.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well, I want to get into that. Thank you for sharing that trick with us. I want to get into more about your magic, and I'm interested in what you are practicing and how much you actually do that, because I know it takes a lot of practice, especially if you're doing close-up. But let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Sure.
At Wormuth Law, they believe that just because you speak a foreign language, come from a different culture, or simply don't know how to navigate the legal system, that should not prevent you from compensation from injury or receiving benefits. Their multicultural staff have been helping SGVers like you for over 38 years. Visit law888.com or call them at 626-784-7017 and tell them you heard about them on this podcast.
All right, we're back with Christine. Christine, before the break, you showed us a little trick, and we were going to get back into more of your magic. Mm-hmm. But before that, so we're going to ask a question. You can choose to answer it or not. And it's just going to be another way of allowing the listening audience to get to know you better and to get to know us a little bit better. So here we go. Who in your life inspires you to be better? And this is for everyone.
Oh, I know. You want to go first?
I'll go first. My wife, absolutely. Yeah, she inspires me to be better in her pursuit of growing herself and her pursuit of being a great parent. Like she is not someone who just wishes those things or says it. Like she says it, but she's always taking action towards that goal, like moving towards it. And she is absolutely the one who inspires me the most to be better.
Yeah, I have a friend who does that, and I've known him for 50 years almost. Blaine Johnson. He not only inspired, unfortunately, he also required me to work hard, which helped make me better and improve me. But I had to work hard. It was not like just pure inspiration that drove me, but it's like he made me work hard. But I became better because of it.
Nice. You know what? Now I remember. It's actually one of your former guests, Paul Quo.
Oh.
Actually, I have to say, Paul, I really thank him for being a good friend. He's almost like a mentor, even though we're the same age. Because without him, first of all, I wouldn't be here. But he's always that person that when because I have a lot of self-doubt. I would go to him. He's a guy that goes, Christine, what's stopping you? Just go do it. And he's an actor. As an actor, you have to take a lot of rejections before you get a yes. So he's very good at motivating me. And whenever I have questions, doubts about myself or my choices, he is the person that I go to, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, and awesome. He's very inspirational. So yeah, he's very lucky to have you guys interview him, and vice versa. He's a fascinating person.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or is.
Well, Christine, back to your magic. It's close up. And is there a difference between close-up and sleight of hand?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. Sleight of hands, because sometimes when you're on stage, you still do sleight of hands. So I think sleight of hands is a broader term for a technical part, but close-up involves a lot of sleight of hands.
Sure. And do you do like with the cup and ball, with cards? Like,
yes. Well, my favorite is the cards.
Okay.
Because for some reason, when I hold a deck of cards, it just feels right. I'm a very fidgety person. I love reading books still. I don't have a Kindle or a digital reader. I just love the texture, the tactile part. So I love deck of cards. I love to shuffle cards when I'm talking on the phone with my clients or watching TV.
Can you move the deck like that? Can you shuffle a one-hand shuffle?
Oh, I can do a one-hand cut. One-hand shuffle a little beyond, but I can do a one-hand cut.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome.
Cross cut, one-hand, I forget the name. There's so many names. They're all named after magicians who came up with that move, actually.
Are you on TikTok or Instagram?
I am on Instagram.
I don't know if this gentleman shows up on there, but there's this guy who does card stacking, and he takes bets like from people who bet him that he couldn't do a certain thing, and he does it live, or not live, but he does it with there's like a stopwatch so they can tell it's not cut, and he'll wash it and he'll cut or he'll deal exactly what they say. It's unreal, but apparently he's been doing this for decades. But
I think I know who you're talking about. Okay. People send me his work. I believe he's actually performed at the castle before.
Okay.
Those are called card mechanics.
Yes.
Yeah, people who manipulate the cards, kind of like card sharks.
Yes.
Yes.
But,
it's a very different
very
skill
skilled,
set.
Right?
Oh, I have to say that's beyond my level as well. I'm the magician for the lay people, but he's a magician, not just lay people, but also for the magicians. And there are different levels. There are master magician who actually lectures for magicians.
So you're on Instagram. Where would we find you?
Oh, it's Christine. It's spelled CHRISTINE dot, and then the THE dot magician. There's Christine dot the dot magician.
Okay.
But I don't want to disappoint you, but I don't do magic on Instagram.
Oh, you don't?
Because
you just
I'm old school. Well, it's mainly what I do because my life is magical. So I show you my life, but not the actual magic, because I still believe magic should be enjoyed live. I know a lot, not to, say anything against the magicians who like to perform on Instagram, but I prefer to perform magic live. I like the interaction. I feel kind of weird to perform for a video camera and edit. It's not the same if you see it live.
Sure, yeah.
Who is Andy Hui?
Oh, Andy Hui is a famous Cantonese pop star artist.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you listened to Canto Pop back in the
haven't
90s.
Recently.
If you show people from Hong Kong.
Oh, they would know.
I think they would know.
Because you were at a concert. I'm just looking at your Instagram.
It's okay. Go for it.
What is it about the performance or the enjoyment of the audience through magic that you like?
Oh, I really like drawing not attention, but the astonishment for audiences. The face of how did that happen, right? I like to, inspire people. So to me, that's almost like inspirational when you see that moment of shock. I like making people laugh, so a lot of my shows incorporate comedy. So I actually wouldn't mind being a stand-up comedian, but I think magic and comedy can be very, they're a good match. For me, at least. Not everybody likes comedy and magic, but I believe it works for me. It's who I am. So, yeah, I do comedy magic.
I hate to turn the show all to magic because, maybe your identity is not just that you're a magician. No. Maybe your identity is not just that you're a realtor, but you're a blend of all these things, right? But I wanted the audience to get a chance to know this side of you, your dealings with magic and whatnot. So do you intend to pursue magic going forward in a bigger way or just continue with it? Or what do you have, in store there?
It's a very good question. I think my next goal would to be a performer at the Magic Castle as a build performer. That's actually in the program. So that's something that I told myself earlier this year. That was my New Year resolution for this year. Haven't started working on that. But no, magic will always be part of my life. That's no doubt. I just really need to focus. As you can see, that my life has not always been very one-tracked. Is always kind of like,
jump
I'll go
around.
I do jump around. I believe life is to be experienced.
Yeah.
That things will happen. Regardless, if it's meant to be, it will happen one way or the other. Of course, still needs hard work, right? You can't just I'm inspired to do this. You still need to work hard on it. But I think at the right moment, that moment will happen. A lot of things I envisioned younger became reality later on in life. It's really strange. Mm-hmm. That's something I experienced throughout my life.
So what is it going to take to reach that goal of being a billed performer at the Magic Castle?
Yeah, so the next step, I would have to work up a routine and consistently perform at the castle's impromptu tables. So remember we mentioned that there were some tables at the castle that any members can perform at. So I would have to practice my art and record myself and then submit my audition to the entertainment manager there to get approved.
How long is the routine?
Tend to be 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how long of the routine has to be the performance, and how long can it be like engaging with the audience or jokes or, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so it depends on the magician. I've seen all kinds. I would say it's usually majority is magic. I think that's from experience. People do want to see magic and not just someone talking and entertaining. So magic it would be the main component, and then some entertainment.
How often do you go to the Magic Castle?
Oh, I would like to go more often.
Yeah.
I've been only be able to go there maybe once or twice a month right now. Pre-pandemic, a lot more often. And also
but still, that's quite a bit. Once or twice a month.
Right.
You go for dinner, or you just go to see shows, or meet people, or what?
Usually
hang out.
That's exactly what I do. As you know, the dinner at the castle is not exactly very
cheap.
affordable.
Yeah.
So I only eat there maybe twice a year when I have special celebrations. And also we get, by the way, as a member, you get a free birthday meal, 3 course.
Wow. When's your birthday?
December.
Okay.
One person, yeah.
Okay, well, I missed that one.
Next time, Scott.
Is it for 2 or for 1?
For 1.
Oh, okay, well.
But we can share, no?
Okay, yeah, sure.
So I do go there. I'm also part of the Women's and Magicians Association. We have monthly meetings, so I try to go there in person. But after pandemic, they have shifted to a hybrid, so I can also attend via Zoom. I usually go on Sundays for the Sunday lectures.
Do they still have that buffet or the brunch?
Yes, they do. The brunch buffets is only on weekends, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still have the buffet, but I was told they removed the crab legs.
Why?
Some people were not. I think it's inflation, perhaps. Oh. Yeah, so maybe it's due to cost, perhaps. But
well, I'm one of those. If I went to a buffet and they had crab legs, I just keep coming back with a plate of crab legs.
They used to have shrimp cocktail the last time I went, so you used to have some seafood cover. Yeah. They have prime rib. It's all good. I only had their brunch once after all these years, because I've been a member since 2014, but only brunch once. I just go there for the shows and hang out.
The trick, no pun intended, at the Magic Castle is to try to get in all the shows because there's lines and you can't it's hard to make all 3. There's the stage, you've got the close up, and what's the other?
Parlor.
The parlor, yeah.
The medium-sized room.
Yeah.
Right, so I have my strategy down.
Yeah. Where you go in order?
Yeah, usually I look at the program, it's like, which magicians I want to see, and I plan it all out.
Yeah.
So when I have guests, I can just hurry up and go, hurry up and exit through that door.
You got to run to the next one.
You got to run to the next. Well, Magic Castle hasn't been as crowded as it used to be.
Oh.
They're better at crowd control, especially after the pandemic. So it's not as bad, but you're correct. You have to plan it out if you want to maximize. But not everybody wants to see all the show. The sad thing is, I maximize it, but my guests like, Christine, I think we've seen enough. I'm like, I want more.
Yeah, you can never
right? If
see
you love
enough.
magic, you want more.
Yeah.
Do your friends and family ask you to do stuff?
Oh yeah, good question. My family actually don't, but friends. No, it's more like acquaintances do. The interesting thing, I think friends, maybe they've seen it or they know I'll bring it up if it's the right time. But acquaintances love to ask, especially first meeting. Christine, show us something. I'm like, well, so remember the gentleman that brought me to the castle for the first time? He used to not show me magic whenever I asked, and now I understand. Because as a respect for the art, I realize I can't just always show magic when on demand. So
Sure.
It's not that I hope I don't come up as a snob or I think I'm too good to perform for people, but I think there is a right moment and time to bring it up.
I'm glad you explained that because I was beginning to think you were a snob.
So I use this analogy, right? Let's say you have, well, not Adele, but let's say Adele walking in and was like, Adele, sing us a song.
Sure.
So we would never do that, but not to say I'm her level, but I learned not to put other magicians on the spot. But yeah, sometimes I can't help it. The really good magician's like, can you just show one thing? But I whisper instead of making that person feel pressured.
Right.
But I do still show magic tricks just at the right time, not when they expect it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to ask you to share
Sure.
some more stuff about you, but this is more about what you like in the San Gabriel Valley.
Yeah, Christine, we'd like to talk about your SGV3. 3 really momentous places or events that you like in the valley, San Gabriel Valley.
All right. So let's see. One place I like. Are you familiar with the San Marino Library?
Yeah.
I think it's called the Crowell Library.
Yeah.
There's a Friends of the Library bookstore that I like to visit because they sell used books for $1 or $2. So, and they're really in great condition. And I like to keep my books because I highlight them when I read. I read a lot of nonfiction. So that's where I go treasure hunting for books.
Oh, wow.
So it's next to the actual library. There's a small little shop.
Oh,
They're not always open, but you got to go online to check their hours because the last few times I went, they were closed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's one place. Another place I like, I had this written down and then now I blinked out. One of them is, actually I was just there, Pasadena Showcase House of Design.
Oh,
That's a event
they do that every year.
Exactly. They do that every year.
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay, so that is so every year Pasadena picks a house and they don't hire them, but they select different interior designers to design each room inside the house. And we can buy tickets to get a tour of the house. And sometimes the interior designers are there to answer questions and tell you about their inspirations.
We had a guest who was my interior designer, Rosalind Woods, and she has designed for this event in the past. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. I ought to check it out sometime.
So it changes location every year.
They choose a different house every year. And I just went a few weeks ago for the first time because I keep hearing you should go, and especially as a realtor. I love looking at homes. Of course, I want to see the showcase house. So the funny thing is I realized they don't tell you the address because they don't want people to.
Yeah, they bus you there.
Exactly. It's literally someone's house. So they don't want the crowd to be driving around. So the address, the location is kept secret.
Yeah.
You have to take a shuttle from Centennial Racetrack and they shuttle you there. But it's really fascinating because this year it was a $18 million home.
Where was it?
It was, can I give it away? No.
Oh,
I think it's
not
over.
the address.
Just kidding. It's actually, it's over now. It's in Pasadena. It's north of Trader Joe's on Huntington. I can't remember the street, but San Gabriel Boulevard, Huntington, northeast section of that. It's a very beautiful house. I did not know.
Oh, yeah. I think on either California or I'm trying to think. Lombardy, I think. It was on Lombardy.
Think it was on Lombardy. Yes, I think so. Yeah, there are a lot of gigantic mansions there.
Yes, yeah, I know. I stay very close there. I walked past it several times. Yeah, it was just a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Right, it was. And it's already over. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was right on Lombardy.
Are the homeowners home during that time?
No, they're not home. I forgot to ask what happened. I think someone purchased it. It was a family inheritance, and they decided to spruce it up and prepare for sale. I think they're going to sell it.
How does someone get selected to be a part of this? Do you know?
Actually, I'm not sure. I don't know if they submit
probably
applications.
Maybe they submit or people on a committee seek it out. Or
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a different house every year. So this is my first year. I'm planning on going again next year.
Yeah, I saw one about 2-3 years ago that Rosalind did, but she took me privately, so I didn't go on one of the buses.
Nice, you got a VIP tour.
Yeah, exactly.
It's better. And third place.
Yeah,
a third place would be the LA Regional Food Bank. Once again, it's a new place that I discover. I'm part of the culture committee. I'm the culture committee chair of my office, KW Executive. And my job is to help bring our agents together. This year, I was responsible for organizing Red Day, which is the one day for KW agents to all come together to donate our time or money to the community. So I found LA Regional Food Bank. I didn't even know this place existed.
Yeah, where's that? I
amazing.
saw that. It was on your Instagram.
Yeah,
Red Day.
so
where is the food bank?
So food bank, there are two locations I found out. One is in LA. The other one we went to was in City of Industry. So City of Industry is a gigantic warehouse where we had 50 agents around packing boxes all day. Not all day, well, all afternoon. Yeah.
And then they're distributed how? To who?
I think people in need, they drive by. They come pick it up, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're happy that we were able to give back to the community. And I highly encourage people, if you want to volunteer, that's one organization to volunteer for. It's well organized. You show up, everything's set up for you, get to work, and then you make a difference.
How many people from your office went?
That was about 60. I signed up for 60. Around 60 agents went.
Wow.
Yeah, but they can accommodate more. But I think 60 was great because we took over one gigantic assembly line on both sides. You're welcome to watch the little video I made
Yeah,
on Instagram.
no, I saw it on Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And it was so fun that the agents requested to have this more often, right? Even though Red Day's once a year, it's symbolic, but it's every year May, but we might do it again. And next year, I hope that we can go back.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I'm going to check out your Instagram after that, after this and look at that. Well, Christine, I'm very thankful that you came on the show and shared your story with us, your journey from Gabrielino to where you are now. If people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
Oh, you're welcome to follow me on Instagram. It's Christine, CHRSTINE dot magician. So Christine.the.magician on Instagram, or shoot me a message there.
And what about for you as a realtor? Is it the best place to reach you?
The best place to reach me, you can reach me. My phone number, is it okay to give it away?
If you want, I mean, whatever you're comfortable with.
Or you can call me at 323, area code 323-868-6168. Please text me first because I get a lot of spam calls. So 323-868-6168. Shoot me a text and I'll get back to you.
Well, Christine, I really enjoyed this time with you, and thank you for giving us this insight into your life and what it takes to become a magician at the Magic Castle. It was really interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I hope I can show you something after this.
Yes, please. You can show me on camera too.
No, absolutely not. I'm not on camera, so. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Christine. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Russell.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Scott, for having me today.
Well, there you go. That's another episode for you. We hope you enjoyed this time with us and, diving into the life of Christine and her journey to becoming where she is today. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can check out our full catalog of episodes on our website, sgvmasterkey.com. And until next week, we'll see you then.
You've been listening to the SGV Master Key Podcast. Our passion is the small businesses and the people that make up the San Gabriel Valley, and it's our honor to have them on the show. We hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure to like, rate, and review. The show is produced by Russell Mano, edited by Victoria Allers of Kind Monster Productions. Thanks for listening, and see you next time on the SGV Master Key Podcast.
Master, no, kind of master.